What's up, guys? Marijuana usage has plagued me for a long time. I really started using when I was 18 years old. Uh, I basically, no, actually, yeah, no, I was 18 years old. That's when I first really started using. I used when I was 14 for the first time. Um, my friend, me and my friend took bong rips, went to KFC. That was a pretty good memory. But yeah, that's how I was introduced to it, and then like off and on, like once or twice a year from that point on until I was 18. Like no, there was years where I didn't even smoke it at all. Like I think like when I was in high school, pretty much I didn't smoke it. No one I knew smoked it, and I didn't have any plugs or anything, so you know, wasn't smoking it then. But then another memory is like I was like I think I was like 16 actually, and then I went to Bible camp, and someone brought like a weed pen, and that was the first time I ever smacked a weed pen. Boy, that was fucking awesome, dude. I was high as hell, and it's funny enough, like no one could tell. At least I don't think so. None of the camp counselors could tell I was high, and I was just zooted. And I was like, they all know. But then I was just like playing in the camp games and stuff and doing pretty good. And then like, or I don't know. I thought I was doing good. For all I know, I could have been doing bad, but yeah. Well, it's funny. They did actually like catch the guy who brought the pen, and they had a whole talk about it. Like, oh yeah, you guys are doing something illegal, whatever. Um, Skip forward to like 18 years old. Um, let's just say I had a bad time in my life right after high school, and you know, I did get in contact with the plug. I got my first job at Roundtable. Um, yeah, my first job, and I got sold this like Delta 8 weed pen, my own weed pen. And I don't even know if it really was Delta 8 because this thing smacked harder than any other pen I've had in my life, dude. Um, I was getting so high, dude. And I would rip this thing every night, dude, for a straight month. It lasted me a month, dude. Like 30 days this pen lasted me. All it took was like one hit and I'd be fucking zooted. But it actually cost me my job at the Round Table. Not because I was doing bad or I got fired or anything, but because I lost all my motivation to work. I just wanted to sit home, just get high. And then eventually I wanted to just like it basically spawned this idea of me doing this cross-country road trip in my car. And one thing led to another. I quit my job to go drive across the country in my car. Um, but it was way harder than I expected, and I like bitched out at San Diego to go and like just basically buy an apartment and go to college there because I liked San Diego and I thought it was pretty. Um, but I ended up getting scammed, bro. Like I bought an apartment off Craigslist and it was a scammer. It was $1,700 to be exact down the toilet, and I had to go back and live with my dad after that, embarrassingly. And then, yeah, after that, I was cooked. There was no, I mean, like, one bad thing after another. I was looking for any escape. So I got in contact with this plug, and I was just getting carts and just chiefing them, dude. And right off the bat, they did not hit the same as my first one, but I didn't care. I was just buying it, smoking one, getting another, smoking one, getting another. They started lasting me half a month, and 2 weeks, then 1 week, then a few days. Before I know it, they're only lasting me like 4 or 5 days, bro. And then at that point, I learned that you can actually go to the dispensary before you're 21 if you get like this medical card, basically. So I applied to get the med card, and let me tell you, dude, that shit, it was so easy to get, and it cost me like $30. Like, basically, some doctor will hop on a Zoom call with you pretty instantly, and then be like, okay, well, do you have any symptoms of anxiety? And if you say yes, and he's gonna make sure you say yes, then okay, then I can prescribe you the card. So there was a dispensary walking distance from my house, like literally a mile and a half from my house, bro. So I walked to the dispensary with that weed card, and before you know it, I was a regular at the dispensary, and I was buying all sorts of crazy products like edibles, tinctures, fucking, you know, mostly just carts, dude. I'd just be buying them carts, and they smacked pretty hard at the time, bro. They smacked really hard. I don't. I'm just getting. This is bringing back a lot of like bad memories, bro. But long story short, from that day, from pretty much a few months after I turned 18 to like, let's say, now I'm 23, so 5 years later, I've been a constant smoker. Like every day, dude. Every day, I've been smoking cards. And not just like little one or two rips. I'm talking like smoking it like it's a nicotine vape. Just ripping it over and over. Dude, there's a time in my life when carts lasted me 2 days, dude. 2 days they lasted me. And I would have to go to the dispensary just over and over and over. And they weren't hitting it all, by the way. My tolerance got so crazy that I needed them just to function, let alone get high. I was not getting high, dude. For like a solid year and a half, or maybe even more, I was not getting high at all. I just needed it to function, dude. At that point, I think I started to develop a post-acute withdrawal disorder, whatever it's called. So, whenever I tried to quit, dude, nah. It was like fucking separating from the symbiote suit in Spider-Man 3. Like, that shit would cause me unbearable pain, dude. Unbearable pain. Um, yeah, not just like typical withdrawals of like appetite and sleep, but literal just like full body physical pain. And yeah. Um, so there's a few times I tried to quit. I think that the closest I got when I was like 19 was I quit for 2 weeks and went back. And then I was just a chronic until I was like 22. Um, and then when I was 22 or 21, when I was 21, I quit for a few months and then went back to it because I forgot how hard it was to quit, and like I started getting crazy cravings. So yeah, there's a few times like I would quit for a few months, not even a few, like a month basically, and then I would go back to it. But pretty much all the time I'm just smoking, bro. Well, so like last year, I tried to quit. I was working like the summer job at the fair. I was quitting, dude. Dude, I swear, it's like quitting is the worst process ever, dude. Because for like a straight month, dude, pretty much, like, it just, you feel like these lingering withdrawal effects, and it's really bad. And, well, so yeah, I got this job at the fair, I quit, then I went back to it, basically. I don't know what happened, but it was summertime, I was bored, I was like, I'm just wasting my time, I could be getting high and having fun. So I smoked this joint, I rolled up this weed I had in storage, it was not good, by the way. If you're ever trying to quit, make sure you throw everything away because you will end up using it if you don't. And, yeah. So I remember, like, I smoked one joint after I quit for, like, a few weeks, and then it spiraled into me buying a nectar collector, and I was taking dabs. And yeah, you already know how this goes. I lost all my tolerance, and I was just taking dabs all day just to feel okay and not in pain. And then, I quit again right before the school started. And, like, there's a server on TF2 called Tiny Kitty Girl Pound. And if you don't know, it's like a server for cool people, basically. Like, it's a really chill environment. Like, just they play like good maps, and then there's always people like loaded in the server. So, and then people are always using VC and stuff. So I was playing on that for a while, just getting blasted from dabs, and then I quit right before my semester at college started. Right? Oh, I have another story I could. Well, I'm actually getting there. I'm getting there. So this is like my first semester at a real university, right? So the withdrawals ended up being so bad. Basically, right after school, my first day, I was going home just like doom texting in their Discord server, the Tiny Kitty Girl Pound Discord server. I was just basically, I was like hella dysphoric, just basically being like, oh, fucking, Like, I just want to die, basically, and then, like, life has no point, yada, 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 and then stuff like that. And they ended up just kicking me from the server and banning me from the actual server because, I guess they don't like that vibes around them, which I don't blame them. And then I was quit for real until October. So for like 2 months, basically, I had quit marijuana, right? Into my first year at university. Well, I ended up asking this girl out. This girl in my debate class, kind of like we really hit it off. She was like, she would laugh at like everything I said, dude, like all of my jokes. So I kind of knew there was some connection there. And then I ended up asking her out, right? Like, well, we did end up going on a date, right? So she did, well, we did, yeah, we went on a date. And then I asked her out on another date, and she said, yeah. And then at the end of our second one, I asked her, hey, can I officially count this as a date? And then she said, no, I'm already dating someone, or I'm already seeing someone. That's what she said. And then I was like, okay, well, we can still be friends. And inside, I was kind of devastated. So then I went home and got drunk. And then, like, in my drunkenness, I had a lapse of judgment and ordered, like, a bunch of stuff off Weed Maps. And I had a total relapse, dude. Total relapse. And then, a lot of people watching this video may actually kind of put the pieces together because that was exactly the time that I had started my team in Highlander TF2 as Shadow Handlers, which became Spoon Handlers after a while. And then I was doing really well managing the team up until that point. I relapsed on weed, right? Well, that basically made everything fall apart, dude. I don't know why, but it just magically does, bro. Weed will just magically make stuff fall apart because teammates started leaving the team. We started losing more matches. I stopped commenting more. Like, I stopped communicating more to my team. I was just ripping the dab pen during an official, dude. During an official match, bro, I was ripping the dab pen and going silent, bro. Like, that's how bad it was, dude. And no surprise, dude. Like, one thing led to another, and the team is pretty much defunct now. And I was trying to get it back together a few times, but, I was also smoking marijuana, so there's good luck with that. So yeah, I won't blame it on the marijuana, but it was likely, like, if I didn't smoke, if I didn't relapse, I'm sure things would have been a lot better, right? I would have managed the team a lot better if I didn't relapse, bro. People just generally tell me I'm more extroverted when I'm sober, right? Like, and sober doesn't mean like 1 day sober or a few hours sober. That means like a months sober for marijuana, because that shit will linger in your system, dude. It really will. Yeah, it's actually fucked, dude. Once you smoke, like once, dude, you're fucked, because at least in my experience, that shit, the effects of it will stick around for a long ass time. Even though the actual high is gone, the negative downsides of it, like the drowsiness, the lack of attentiveness, the fucking I don't know, the disinterest in everyday activities, that is going to stick around for weeks, even after you only use it once. Maybe not for like a non-heavy user, but for someone like me who has permanently altered their brain chemistry from it, yeah, no, it can be a real problem just even using once, dude. It's not an option. Using once will cause me to relapse. Period. But yeah, anyways, so let's continue the story. So I did end up using marijuana to, like, because I was so sad that, like, I guess I wasn't gonna end up dating this girl. Well, actually, no. She was just kind of a bitch because she ended up cheating on her boyfriend with me, and then, like, led me on as well, thinking that she was just gonna break up with him and just date me instead, which I guess I had no problem with. And yeah, we ended up seeing each other for like 3 or 4 months, dude, and we were pretty close. But then, like, I don't know, I got rug pulled because out of the blue one day she just stopped calling or texting me, and then I never really saw her or talked to her since. It's been I think it's been like 6 months since I've last talked to her, dude. And mind you, we just started speaking of October last year, right? So do the math, you know, it's been a minute. All right. So, you know, that's that. But I'm gonna say right now, weed did not do anything for our relationship because, dude, like, we would do dabs together, bruh. And while that was all fun and games, like, it just made it so I wasn't as present, I guess I could have been. Which I also don't know because I don't really think that dating her would have been that great to begin with. Like, even if I did end up together with her still, I don't think it would have been that much of a blessing, dude. She was not that great of a person, but yeah, we didn't do anything good for me. I ended up basically getting into the state for the rest of my school year, my next that semester and the following semester, where I would basically use the get high for like a few nights, then quit for a week to reset my tolerance, and then end up just using more, quit for a week to reset the tolerance. And this just put me in a constant state of agony pretty much because the high really only lasts for like 2 hours ish. And then if you try to keep on using, you're really not going to get to that same level no matter how much you take. You have to reset. And I just can't do that. But every time I would quit, dude, it would just be a week of straight hell, dude. Like, I would be pissy to everyone. Like, I would just be not sleeping, having to take hella melatonin to go to sleep, no appetite, just fucking constant hell, dude. And then I would take drugs to make it all better, and then just be by myself, just listening to music, like, ignoring the problem, I guess. Well, I guess something snapped in me as of recently because, like, 2 weeks ago, I decided that I was done. For real. Like, I decided that the marijuana was holding me back in life, that it was just gonna make things worse from here on out to the day I die. So I quit. And not with the plan of, like, oh, because someone told me to, or because, like, I'll end up going back to it eventually. Like, no. I'm quitting for good, for the rest of my life. Meaning that even when I'm elderly, I'm not going to be using it. Even when I'm retired, I'm not going to be using it. Because I just don't want to quit ever again. Like, I'm done with the quitting shit, dude. I'm done with the fucking withdrawals. Like, I'm done. I'm done with its fucking garbage effects on my body and my brain and my mind. I'm done. And I've been telling myself, like, it's good that I feel miserable. It's good. Because I don't know why, but it's good. Like, now I don't know why, but I've just been white knuckling these withdrawals to get better. Like, every time I feel like pain or cravings, I'm just like, fuck no. Like, I feel aggression towards it. Like, I'm not going back to it. If I feel pain, that's good. I deserve to feel pain, basically, is the message there. So I really do think, like, this is it. Like, I think my marijuana journey ends here, pretty much, because, well, as I said, it's been I think it's been like 12 days exactly since I've quit. I really kind of lost track, which is what you want, but it's been about 12 to 14 days since I've last used it. And, you know, guys, honestly, it's bad. I say I have post-acute withdrawal disorder because 2 weeks after quitting, like, guys, I still have to take melatonin to go to sleep at night. My appetite still isn't that great. And I'm basically irritable all the time. All the fucking time. I play, you know, and I'm like, okay, I'm at this point where I'm hella bored all day, right? And using marijuana is not an option. So what do I do to pass the time, bro? Video games. Counter-Strike. That game makes me rage, bro. And the irritability plus the rage from Counter-Strike is not a good mix, I've learned. But it's so addicting, dude. It's so addicting. And yeah, what am I getting at? I really have no idea, dude. I just don't want to substitute one negative bad habit for another, and it kind of feels like I'm doing that just by playing Counter-Strike all day. It feels some sort of dopamine that's been depleted from the you know, no marijuana or anything. And guys, this is good news for all, but I'm actually completely sober. Like, I don't drink. I don't, you know, drinking, like, yeah, I guess it's fun, but I don't like to drink at all, pretty much, because of the effects of it after. Like, you know what I really do not like? Okay, I'd say I dislike the feeling of coming down after a few drinks, or even just one drink, more than the actual effects of the alcohol, right? So every time I think about drinking, I just think about, like, being sick and just, like, being, like, upset and feeling just bad. So I'm like, nah, I'll pass on that. And that's honestly for the best. So I don't smoke, I don't vape, I don't use weed or drink or use any drugs. Basically, at this point, I'm just stone cold sober. Um, and that's for the best, you know, because I am trying to be a lawyer. I'm going to college, and I am 1 year away from my bachelor's degree, so pretty close, actually. At that point, I mean, it's a pretty straight path to, like, law school and probably becoming a public defender, so whatever. It's not like anyone wants a lawyer that's all abusing weed and doesn't care or anything. Like, obviously, I have to care, at least a little bit, but yeah, anyways, guys, that's where the video ends. I just wanted to share my story, my experience, my thoughts, everything. I hope you found this video entertaining. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. And guys, I'll see you in the next one. See you.